What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Busy Dad's Board Gaming. My name is Neil Odette, and today I'm going to teach you how to play Horrified. So, let's dive right into it. To set up, unfold the game board and place it in the center of the play area in reach of all the players. Place the terror marker on the 0 space of the terror track or on the 3 space if you're playing a solo game. Place the 10 villagers and 3 dice next to the board as seen here, and shuffle the monster cards and place them in a face down deck next to the board as well. You'll then choose which monsters to play against. For your first game, they recommend playing against Dracula and the creature from the Black Lagoon, which is what I'll be showing you in this tutorial. If you're looking for a standard game or a more challenging game, you can just increase the number of monsters that you'll face off against. Take each chosen monster's corresponding monster mat and complete the setup for each of them using the back of another monster mat. In this case, to set up Dracula, first place Dracula on the board at the crypt, and then place a coffin with the red icon face up at each of the following locations: the crypt, the dungeon, the graveyard, and the cave. For the creature from the Black Lagoon, place the camp overlay on the board so it aligns with the camp location. Place the creature on the board in the lagoon, and place the boat on the X labeled start on the monster mat. Finally, for the monster setup, place the frenzy marker on the monster mat with the lowest frenzy, as shown by this symbol and number. So 1 for Dracula and 4 for the creature. We'll then carry on with the player setup. Mix up the hero badges face down and give 1 at random to each player. Give each player their corresponding hero mover and double-sided reference card, and return the rest of the badges, hero movers, and reference cards to the box. Place all 60 item tokens in the item bag and mix them up. Draw 12 from the bag and place each one at the location indicated on the item. Shuffle the perk cards and then give 1 at random to each player face up. Place the remaining perk cards in a deck face down next to the board. And finally, the player who most recently ate garlic takes the first turn. In Horrified, you'll be playing as hero characters, making your way throughout the village on the main board, collecting items, saving villagers, and hopefully defeating the monsters. The players win if they defeat all the monsters they are playing against. In order to defeat a monster, you must first complete a task. Each monster's task and subsequent defeat is unique. For Dracula, first we have to smash his 4 coffins at the different locations. Only then can we try and overcome him. For the creature, we first must find our way to his hidden lair, and then once that is done, we can attempt to drive the creature away. However, the monsters won't just hang back and watch as all of this happens. They will also be moving around the board, attacking heroes and terrorizing villagers. The players lose immediately if one of the following occurs. Each time a hero or villager is defeated, the terror level will increase. If the terror level reaches its maximum, the monsters have overrun the village and the players lose. And each turn, you will draw a card from the monster deck. If you need to draw a monster card and the deck is empty, you have taken too long to defeat the monsters and the players lose. Each turn has 2 phases, the hero phase and the monster phase, and they are performed in that order. In the hero phase, you will take as many actions as indicated on your badge. In addition, any player may play any number of perk cards. The actions you can take are as follows. First, you can move. When doing so, move your hero along a lit path to an adjacent space. You cannot move onto water spaces and can only cross the river using one of the 2 bridges. In addition to your move, you may take any number of villagers in your hero's space with you when you move. Next, you can guide, which allows you to move one villager from your hero space to an adjacent space, or move one villager from an adjacent space to your hero's space. You can also use your hero's special action. Some heroes have special actions as indicated on their badge. Just like other actions, special actions count as one of the total number of actions on your turn and can be taken multiple times. So in the case of the courier, it states, place your hero in any space with another hero. Next, you can use the pickup action on your turn to take any number of items from your hero's space. Keep all your items in front of you next to your hero badge. Items are important for advancing tasks and defeating monsters, as well as defending yourself from the monster's attacks. Each item has a color as well as a strength indicated by the number at the top. Each item also has a location at the bottom of the item, which lets you know where to place it when drawing and placing items from the bag. The color, strength, and location may be important when using items as shown on each monster mat. This symbol means that only one item of the color shown may be played per action, whereas this means that any number of items of the color shown may be played in a single action. Add together their strength to meet or exceed that number. In the case of smashing Dracula's coffins, we first need to be on a space with a coffin, for example, the crypt. We must then discard any number of red items meeting or exceeding a total of 6, so in this case 7. Once the coffin is smashed, it is placed on the matching spot of the monster mat. Anytime you use an item, unless otherwise directed, that item is discarded into a pile next to the board. Do not return items to the bag unless specifically told to do so. Of course, you can also share items, which is the next action that we'll talk about. All heroes in the same space as your hero may freely give or take any number of items from each other when you use the share action. The last two actions you can take are in relation to the monsters. The first of which is that you can take the advance action to advance the task you are required to complete in order to move on to the monster's defeat condition. Using Dracula as an example once again, the advance action is what allows you to smash a coffin in your space so long as you can discard red items meeting or exceeding a total strength of 6. Once you've completed step number 1 by smashing all the coffins, you can then move on to the final action, which is the defeat action. In Dracula's case, you first need to be in the same space as him, and second, use the defeat action in order to discard any number of yellow tokens meeting or exceeding a strength of 6. When that is done, you've successfully defeated Dracula and are well on your way to winning the game. Now, it wouldn't be much of a monster game if there weren't any villagers running around scared out of their minds. Villagers add another layer to Horrified and may appear in the village during the monster phase. You'll be directed to place villagers at specific locations. So in the case of Wilbur and Chuck here, we need to place them at the shop. There is no limit to the number of villagers that can be on the board at one time. Each villager has a safe location that they're trying to reach as indicated at the top of each villager's token. You can use the move and guide actions to usher villagers to their safe locations. As soon as a villager reaches their safe location, they're removed from the board and you are rewarded with a perk card. Perks may be played on any player's turn, but only during the hero phase. When you play a perk card, do what the card says and then put it into the discard pile face up. Playing any number of perk cards does not require an action. Once you've used your 3 to 5 actions as indicated on your hero badge, you'll then move on to phase 2, the monster phase. Draw a card from the top of the monster deck and resolve the 3 parts on the card from top to bottom. After resolving the entire monster card, put it in the discard pile face up. The 3 parts of a monster card are items, events, and monster strike. For the items part of the card, draw a number of items listed at the top of the card, if any, from the item bag. Place each at its specified location. Next is the event. Each event involves either a monster or a villager. If the event monster is not in your game, completely ignore the event and continue to the monster strike. Otherwise, read the event out loud and do what it says. The last part of a monster card is the monster strike. Certain monsters move and attack as indicated by the symbols at the bottom of the drawn monster card. In order from left to right, move and attack with the first monster, then proceed to the second, and so on. If an indicated monster is not in your game, ignore that symbol. If the frenzy symbol is shown, the monster with the frenzy marker moves and attacks as normal. Next to the monster symbols, you'll see symbols for both the move and attack values. Move the monster a number of spaces as indicated on the card towards the closest hero or villager. So in this case, it has us moving the creature from the Black Lagoon first for a space of 1, which will put them right there. As soon as the monster is in a space with a person, they stop moving. If the monster started in a space with a person, they don't move at all. The monster will then attack one person in their space by rolling a number of attack dice indicated on the drawn monster card. If there are no people in the monster's space, the monster does not attack. Do not roll dice. If there are multiple people in that space, the monster will attack a hero rather than a villager. So if we were to play this out fully, the creature from the Black Lagoon already moved its one space and did not end up in a space with a hero or a villager. Next, Dracula will activate and he will move one space closer to a hero or a villager, which in this case will be the yellow player. Then the frenzied monster will move again, which in this case is Dracula. So he's going to move an additional space and attacking if he ends his turn in a space with a villager or a hero. When attacking, you roll a number of dice equal to the amount shown on the monster card, which in this case would have been 2. However, we're just going to grab all 3 dice here. Each die has a blank side, a hit side, and a power symbol side. If this power symbol is rolled, the monster's power is activated once for each power symbol rolled. Refer to the box on the individual monster mat to see exactly what the power symbol does. If this symbol is rolled, the person was hit by the monster's attack once for each hit symbol rolled. If a hero was to be hit by a monster's attack, that hero may discard 1 item for each hit symbol rolled. If the hero does not have enough items, or does not wish to discard any items, they are defeated. 1 hit defeats a hero. When a hero is defeated, increase the terror level by 1 and remove that hero from the board. At the start of that player's next turn, they place their hero at the hospital and take their turn as normal. A villager does not have any items and is therefore defeated immediately when hit. When a villager is defeated, advance the terror level by 1. The last thing we'll talk about is the frenzy marker. Some events will direct you to place the frenzy marker on the next monster. When this happens, place it on the monster mat with the next highest frenzy order. If you defeat a monster with a frenzy token on it, just like before, that token is placed on the monster mat with the next highest frenzy order. So in the case of the creature from the Black Lagoon, if we were to defeat that monster, we would take the frenzy marker from the creature and place it back on Dracula. As I mentioned before, the game can end in one of 3 ways. If the players defeat all the monsters on the board, the game ends immediately and the players have won. You've managed to save the village from a horrific fate and perhaps even the monsters themselves. If the terror level reaches its maximum, indicated by the skull at the end of the track, the game immediately ends and the players lose. Everyone in the village, including the heroes, are too horrified to continue. You abandon the village to the monsters. Lastly, if you need to draw a card from the monster deck and it is empty, the game ends immediately and the players lose once again. You've taken too long to save the village and the villagers have fled and you aren't able to continue. And there you have it. That was my rundown of how to play Horrified. I'll leave links in the description below if you'd like to see a solo playthrough, but go ahead and smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified on any future videos. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Links for everything in the description below. But until next time, thanks for watching and happy gaming.